am more familiar with my teacher view than I am the student view. Right, so we'll play with that together and see if we can. Tommy, you in? What do you mean? Are you getting to it the way that you normally get to it? Hold on, redirected you too many times. Try to click on that. Did you read what it said to try to do? Slow down. On your computer, open Chrome. Check. At the top right, click more, the little button things. So you're also making the toolbar drop away. Hey, stop scrolling around. Do not scroll until you're done reading. Go up to your taskbar because it said top right. Those dots. And keep following the directions, but you keep scrolling around too much. With privacy and security. Is that what she was playing? So you also have permission to delete all that. So you're going to lose those things where it knows, like what you cooked on before. That's you probably have too many cookies right now. Every now and then you got to clear it out. Because you have 100 this list goes on. You have 10 megabytes worth of cookies. Just clear it out. This is probably like a year worth of cookies. Alright, now close that tab. Close that tab so I'm not worried about what you're doing. Close the tab. Everybody go back to your learner homepage. We want to get to the page that looks like this. Now, for some reason, and maybe it's a setting that we'll figure out today, some of us have our mastery goals showing first. Some of us have our individual assignments showing first. Yeah, they can also unplug the lamp if they need to, if that doesn't reach. Got Elijah plugged into that. Oh, wait, the loaner needs charge too? Well, maybe it didn't charge over the weekend. Yeah. Because it seemed, here, you can take that, and then I'll just try to plug this in here. Yeah, take that. I'll try to plug in his computer differently. Find your mastery goal. Find your mastery goal for proportional relationships. All right. Elijah, you're still charging up here. I got to figure out what happened to the other charger I have up here. Check out what % you're at for your mastery goal. So like me, not so great, 59%. So if I go to do this live, and I took some screenshots, but I think live makes more sense. So click on this mastery goal that you'll see is now due like this Friday, because I changed that due date again. Josh, why are you doing what you're doing? Guys, I'm going to start making you have an answer for your actions. You are too old to not know why you're doing what you're doing. You are in charge of your actions. You are in charge of the words that come out of your mouth. You are in charge of what your body does. You're too old to say, I don't know. No, you're too old. That doesn't fly. We have camp this week, and I'm getting a little nervous about what people think is outside of their control. You are in charge of everything. If we're giving you directions, you're following those directions. So, we went up here, learner home, catching up anyone who looks like they're not doing what we're supposed to be doing. We then clicked on your course. Now, I don't know if there's a way to delete old classes. Like, because your teachers added you to the class. If one of you figures out how to do this, we can share that information with our class later. That's not what we're doing right now. What? What if we don't have any old classes? That's great. That's because people are annoyed that they have extra classes showing up, like my old one from 2021. There's got to be a way to get rid of those. But, like, so here's my class that I put myself in, just so it wouldn't mess up your guys' progress, right? Like your LearnStorm progress. So this is not the same class as you guys, but everyone click on our class. I think it says 1A Math 7 because we're competing. Lakin, why are you doing what you're doing? You are right, and you didn't fight that distraction like a 12-year-old should be able to. Can you keep yourself, like, following my directions now? Guys, the amount of time that we could have back if all of us would just do what we're supposed to do. Click on proportional relationships. I should see everyone's screen looking pretty much exactly like this, except hopefully your percentage is higher than mine, because I haven't done all my homework. Elijah, are you just catching up because your computer died? Yeah, that's all good. So now start scrolling down the page slow enough that you can see what you were looking at. Everything on the left are videos and like lesson tools. Everything on the right are the practice assignments that should be done at this point. Uh-oh. I need to try this one again because it's still orange for me. But interestingly, I got these done, but I didn't get the one from Unit 1 done. So guys, this is what we're slowing down and going backwards to talk about. Some of you are doing things out of order. What Mr. Manning announced, because it's what I left him, and I'm sure he did announce it, was it does not make sense to try the unit test, which I last tried 4 years ago. It does not make sense to try that if your practices are not done. So as we go into units, like as we keep working through this year, yeah, I assign things with due dates, and like you can operate based off the due dates. But if you start to get behind and you don't know which assignment you should do and like what would be higher priority, you need to come here and work from the top to bottom of like, if I go all the way to the top, done, 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 not done, this is the first thing I should do. Because working my way down the list of this unit, it doesn't make sense to try the next section if I'm not done with this section. So if you have anything left from the proportional relationships unit, we need to go in and look for what's the oldest thing that I need to work on and go work on that. What percentage are we supposed to get to on pretty much everything?
100.
80, really? So if you still have anything at 75%, it might show you that orange box. Even though that like passes for us, because we're going to say that's okay, and actually I'm still debating if I like letting you guys get away with 75%. Does that mean you're missing 1 out of every 4 things? You don't really want to, like, you don't want to say, oh yeah, I know how to do that. I only miss 1 out of every 4 times. Like, that's not very good, right? Like, I don't know if you guys have been watching any football recently or anything, but like, imagine if a kicker said, like, yeah, I get like 3 out of every 4 kicks. They're not going to have him as their first string kicker. It's harder when you talk about like the offensive line or defensive line, but the kicker is an easy position to be like, that's on you, man. That's your role. Like, you don't really want to be only hitting 3 out of 4. So, a lot of us still need to do quiz 3 or quiz 3 or the unit test. But if you aren't done with quiz 2, it would be silly to go back in and work on quiz 3. So until quiz 2 is at an 80% or higher. Actually, guys, I think for quizzes, we're going to start to say like 75% does not fly because we're trying to show mastery. So we're again going to use today as a work day. But I need to see people working like specifically in the order they need to be. And I'm probably going to come around and meet with each of you to talk about where you're at and what you need to do. Anyone have any questions about how to navigate this and look down the unit? So you don't have to go to that past due assignment list. This, like entering the assignment from here, is the same as entering it from your assignment list of what I assigned you. When you get it done, you can email me and let me know it needs changed in math. So the other thing you need to do is check math for what I posted from last week. Did you do last week's homework? But again, we're working oldest to newest. So even when you look at math, like we should be coming down this list, oldest to newest. Because I don't think many of you only have like one thing. Probably multiple, so you have to pick which to do. Pick the oldest. Pick the one highest up this list. Questions? We've got more to talk about together, but I just want to give it a few minutes of like, get into the oldest thing you need to. Now, if you are totally, absolutely caught up, which is a few of us, whatever else you need to do for school. Whatever else you need to do for school is an option right now. Questions on what we're doing?
I'm pretty sure I had asked you to move over to the white table because you and Lake can keep distracting each other.
Remember, you guys are supposed to have your Chromebooks charged when you come to school, so first class of the day, we shouldn't really be fighting dead computers. Even if you're all caught up, do me a favor and go into a practice assignment. Like, even if it's one you've already done, just go into a practice assignment. So guys, not every practice assignment is set up the same, but let's say here, I accidentally think this constant proportionality is 4. What is it actually? Anyone want to take a risk and tell me what it should be? Yeah, just go. Yeah. It's not -4, because remember, it's how I get from X to Y. So Jackson, be careful. Make sure you actually think before you raise your hand, because I don't think you actually looked at it. Owen? It's not 0.4, because that's 4/10. So we're going from 8 to 2, 16 to 4, 32 to 8. Am I getting bigger or smaller? Smaller. So what happens when I'm getting smaller? The constant proportionality has to be a real small number. It's going to be a fraction. Owen, you want to try to dig yourself out? It's not 0.4. Can you think of what fraction it would be? So if I went 2 to 8, sure, that's times 4. 8 to 2 would be divided by 4. A fourth, right, which is not 0.4, right, a fourth. But watch! If I get this wrong, hey friends, this is where I think a lot of you are just too quickly doing try again or skip, or you just restart the assignment. It will show me and explain it to me exactly how they got their answer, or I can go watch a video. If I see you retrying assignments over and over and over again, and you're never watching the video, guys, that's literally how they define insanity, is trying the same thing again and expecting something different to happen. You have to do something different if you expect different results. So I can come in and watch the video and get a great explanation from like Sal Khan, because I think he still makes all of these videos. And I even get points from that. Those of you trying to earn points to buy different avatars and stuff, I even get points from that. Then I can come back to the assignment and try it again. Right? It gives me the same question so I can try to prove I know what I'm talking about now. But wait! Even if I accidentally get this right, and I'm not quite sure how I got it right, see how we answer this question. Step by step, what times x gives us y? Thinking that through, setting up the equation. Even if you get it right, you can have it explained to you how you got it right. Tommy, you need to be working on an assignment, not picking your avatar. Go look at for September 18th, or just go down your list of that page. Guys, I would love to stop correcting what you're doing. If you could just be following the directions and doing what you're supposed to, I'd be so happy. I think you'd be happier too. The problem is I only printed one page. I think I should have printed more.
So if we're trying to go, when we do these in class, aren't we normally writing things down? I'll come back and help you. You've got paper, pencils. From this unit, now you might have older stuff too, because I should have printed it farther. You for sure have a missing grading proportional equations. So go back to that unit that we were just talking about. You're not even in the right unit. The proportional, so go back to learner home. Like start where we click up here, just go back to learner home. Okay, now go back here too. Proportional relationships. We want to look down this page. Anything that's just familiar and temporary, we want to try to get that bumped up. Did you do it today? It was this one. Okay, so that's what this print was from this morning. So you're good with those. 100%. Now it looks like you're good for this evening. So now you can go back to anything else or email me if I need to change it. Right? So it sounds like right now you should probably email me and say, hey, please, right? Guys, I know emails feel kind of cold, but you can use manners in emails. I'm just going to start working my way around. I think, thick skin. You can squeeze through if you think skinny. So there's a form you get from the office. Get that. And we like them all. They're like, what you're doing this. I don't really want to go too far ahead of time, like before I teach this stuff. So let me think about how to do that. I'm not saying no, just help me figure out how to make that work. And like some of it, you just don't know what you're doing. You're going to watch videos or whatever. It's not bad. I trust you to watch those things if you need to. I would just feel bad if you would have to put extra effort. But yeah, let me get that. Because this week we're not doing much movement. Actually, I can probably do that. But this week we're not assigning much work. We're doing camp. Yeah. So there's a PR next year.
So then her earnings are $10. So then for her hours, at the rate, at that rate, how many hours does it take her? $1. So then they made a proportion and put her $1 over 10. And then she made, and they zeroed it out. And then they found that 1 over 10 is 0.1. So it takes her 0.1 hours to earn $1. Not even full, it takes her not even full hours. Yep. Yeah, so that's why here you got, for the first answer, that's why you got 10 for the first answer, because that was 10 over 1. Right? that help?
So can you tell your parents like what you need to do instead of making everyone spend time on stuff that you already know what to do? So I'm not going to respond to your parents. If I do, I still talk about your parents. But you for sure had 2 major books week. So did you find those on here? They're still like ones or thinking that version done. It was writing proportional equations and writing proportional equations from two. So now you need to compare them today. But this morning on printed this, you have not submitted those. So make sure you email me and tell me how to do it. My question maybe is, have you done them since I assigned them? Because if you did them before I assigned them, you have to do this. Like after I assigned
Your stuff.
them.
Is that what you said? Speak it closer to your phone. Okay.
You guys are going to do them again. So right, you did them ahead of time, and that's what messed with like what it looks like.
So you, I think what we did last time, so we took the 3, we made it into a fraction. We took the 3, which
We're all
was 3
caught
over
up.
5.
This one, so it's 71%. Did you catch that as you scrolled down?
We left it.
Because that's solving proportions. This is the one that's at 71, so I think that's a trick on this map right now. Because that's not this
We
assignment.
gotta make it an equation though. It says write
No,
an
you
equation
might.
that relates
This
y
might also be in
amount
that
of
because this is
yellow
only last week's one.
to,
Like this is just last week. So if it was before last week, it's not on this page.
but I think we just left it as a
That makes sense. I
fraction.
just want to make sure that when you go back and see that check minus, it's because your highest score is 70.
So first we gotta put our variable. So our variable is y.
Mm-hmm. Or like I said, hand it first and go on there first.
And then you should be able to
What's
just
it at?
do like 3 and then put that little slash button. Yep, and then 5. And then we gotta move.
So how do we find the constant proportionality? What are we doing?
What's our last variable? Does that make sense?
No. Is it x divided by y or y divided by x? I don't want any
It
of
doesn't
these
matter. It
right
comes out as
now.
a weird decimal.
Y divided by x, right? So make sure that we're doing it in that order.
Then you're gonna have to put all these numbers because it wants the exact.
If we try right here, let's just try 1 here. So 7 divided by 4. If we know because the first one is bigger, we're getting
Either or,
bigger
but I'm
than
saying
1,
like the
right? And
the
we don't
decimal
have to
thing on this, I would just subtract.
try 2.4 times 7. Just make sure that
Yeah, if it's
Right,
like
or
0.25, that's easy to put in, right? But if it's long
try
like
the
that,
next
I
one.
would just leave that as a fraction.
5.4. So you keep switching your order, and this is with practice comes that confidence of knowing which order to do things in. Try your third one. Make sure they're not playing a trick on you. Alright, what are we trying to do?
Good job. All right, keep going. Good job.
So we talked about this last week when we switched the variables. So if we So what you're saying is the kilometers will be 8 times
So take your, I
the
will take your
liters.
bigger number and
Right?
divide it by
Kilometers
small.
will be 8 times the liters. That's what you're saying here. Because you said it. So now if I switch this around, well, was that 48 divided by 6? Yeah, it should be. So then if I switch these variables around, do you remember what I do to this fraction? I said I would
And if they all go by the same
flip
number,
it, right? So I flip the variables around, I flip the fraction over. You don't have to.
Good, teacher.
Jackson, were you working on the oldest thing? Did you look down that page? So it's like run and scroll, just so I can see what it's interpret. Okay, so this is over a week old, right? So yeah, we got some catching up to do.
I'm at 93%. But it's not.
So like that is what you should be doing.
But that's what you do.
What's it asking? So what is it asking is down here though. So then the second question essentially we just did on the last problem, what if I switched around? Because they switch euros and dollars, dollars and euros,
That's fine, yeah.
and they switch the question.
That way.
Yeah.
That works for me.
Hey, keep going though, because you still are behind. You're on a streak, but you're not keeping up with the work. No, you're not talking to each other. You're doing your own independent work. What's up? You need help?
I just have to use this.
I'm just working my way around the room. If you're good, I'll not do it now. You're fine. All right. Here we go.
Let's try to see something else. We're trying to solve something.
Yep. 71 we can definitely solve.
What's the original? So was it 1 divided by 6? Okay. So this one can be tricky sometimes because you have to put like a bigger number.
Hey, Reese and Carolyn, you guys checked Matt for other classes, right? Yeah, she's not here today. I think she had to take Luke to an appointment. Her son.
That one doesn't work.
Major, are you looking for help? Sit back down. I'm just over here like
Waiting to see who needs. I was checking on what people are doing. Let me help you. I mean, probably like Mrs. Fisher better. I mean, I like her better too. Do you know what we're doing next? Because it sounds like you're trying to match. But do you know what we're doing next? So say that again, because your first couple was not looking at that.
Yes.
She grew up listening
So what is max?
Keep going, boys.
Well, wait, what does it mean?
That's actually pretty cheap. Alright, so the clown.
It's going up. Does it change how it goes up or go up the same? And then there's another rule of proportional whereby it's 0
Okay.
for one thing.
So right
What about
really
the
F.
has to be 0 on the other thing.
Whatever it tells us.
Like 0
Whatever it is.
what would that cost us?
F equals.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So then
that's
0, 0.
Seven. Yeah, there's one of
Will
like
its
19.
cost go up the same every time? If it's 312 for yeah. So is this proportional? Yeah. It seems like
Yeah,
That's
that's
a fact.
1992.
It's just
Yeah,
very-
there's
very
two.
easy.
This is divided by 21.
Now, if in an hour, I earn 20 bucks.
And you assume you got half
In
chance.
1 hour, I earn 20 bucks. What do you make sure I earn?
Okay, so
That's what you think I should earn. This is why I'm covering this up. You come over my house and break leaves or something, right? It's like how I made my money. Mowing grass, breaking leaves, all my shovels. If I give you $20 for that first hour, what do you expect for the second hour? $20 more. Is that what Jace got here? No. Someone's written, maybe they got a bonus for the first hour or something, but it's not going up the same.
That's why it's
I'd like to speak with the manager, please. I should be getting paid more.
This
So this is not proportional.
That number of pages, number of pages, 3. Why?
hear the Y back here. We Y in the math.
We doing okay over here?
I sneak in. You want
No, no,
Here? Did you have one?
I
Oh, I see who you want.
Who do you want, me or Mr. Hudson? Probably Mr. Hudson.
I don't know, yeah, because his math is easier.
Whoa!
He might explain it a little bit better than me, honestly.
I
It's
have-
kind of
look,
easier.
I have been doing this longer than Mrs.
You've
Fisher.
been not. He also has a math lesson than Mrs. Fisher.
Well, deal.
That's why you told
So
math.
when you're doing Y divided by X, now are you
Alright, let's
doing
see.
Y
I don't
divided by
mix
X?
numbers.
Do you know what a half is?
The amount of sugar. So what's the amount of sugar? 300 every 2 hours. Or every 2
So
days.
0.5.
Every 2
Like
flavors.
a half is just 0.5. Right? If I give you half the pizza, I give you 0.5 of the pizza. So this would be 3.5, and that would be
That's
13.5.
right, but I think
So if we go to that division,
See,
we
this
have
later.
yeah, so you can type in instructions, but it's quicker if we know what the decimal is. So let's do 3.5 divided by 13.5. This is double jump. So is that the same as when you did 2 divided by 12? This is why I like these calculators. If you're not certain, you can do 2 divided by 12, and it'll still show you the last answer. Are those the same? No. So it's not this table, even though it looked like it right here. So let's try table C. Again, they're using halves. Because we should know that a half we can type in 0.5. So I'm going to unclick this. So what about 3 divided by 18?
Big one.
And that is 1/6, right? If you type in 1 divided by 6, just to check.
I know, it's great.
That is 1/6. So let's try 4.5.
So Mumbai is approximately 845 kilometers away from Bangalore, and Mumbai is approximately 100,
Mark, you can always zoom in.
160 kilometers away from Delhi.
Okay, now let's try
The distance that is
5.5.
measured in cities on Alice Island are proportional to the real distance. So Bangalore is
Go there.
okay.
It might be because I zoomed in and maybe
We want
messed
to
with
take
the computer a little bit.
this number.
If you have made progress on assignments and grades would need changed in math, email me. Email me like right now.
I did everything. I had nothing.
Because we have 3 minutes left in class. You need to email me right now so I know later. If you need grades changed in math, which I hope is pretty much all of us.
Alright, so that's the number we want to try to see if these numbers, when we divide them, are proportional to that.
Hey, so we're gonna check LearnStorm here in a second, but I decided to change things up a little bit because I feel like some people are, like we haven't really been getting suckers because we haven't been, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious. Some of us have fallen behind. But for those of us that are carrying the class and have done everything that they could, sorry to if you're embarrassed by this, you shouldn't be because you've just done what I asked you to do. The rest of everyone should be mildly embarrassed they're letting themselves fall behind. So Reese, Caroline, and Josh were the only 3 people in this class that as of this morning didn't need any missings put into map. So come on up, watch, I'll bring the suckers around. Sorry, we empty the drawer before I replace it. So if you don't like the flavors, sorry, we empty the drawer before I replace it. So guys, my plan is to check LearnStorm at the end of... Hey, my plan is to check LearnStorm at the end of this week to figure out who won. I gotta get back to my teacher dashboard. So what I'm saying is you need to catch up. If you are behind, you need to use this week to catch up because we won't really have a lot of new math because Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we don't even have classes. If my LearnStorm will load, which I am concerned it's not going to. I'm just staring at the gray spinny circle. It's so beautiful, right? The gray spinny circle.
Next day.
It's so gray.
Next day. What is it? Oh, yeah. It's so majestic.
Was there anyone in here? Hey, my final checklist items I'm trying to get to. Was there anyone in here who did not fill out the lunch survey? Miss Hassanein had you do it last week. Lunch survey, everyone filled it out for Wednesday. What do you need to plan for Wednesday? You need to what? You need to what? Yeah, I'm trying to get you to say it multiple times. You need to do what Wednesday? So when should you actually probably maybe think about that? Like today and tomorrow to make sure you have stuff to bring. Make sure like you have food at home to pack a lunch. All right, so unfortunately, the internet is just doing its thing. So we'll check into Khan Academy tomorrow, but that is all the time we got for this class today. Have a great day, guys.
Mr. Hudson, what's your first name?
Micah, I made my name tent at the beginning of the year. It's been up there ever since.
It's like asking Obama